Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Tom Bernard. Thanks for the suggestion, Tom. You asked, what's the difference between whiskey and brandy? If you've ever stood in front of a bar shelf, wondering which bottle to pick, or maybe pretended to know the difference during a fancy dinner, you're not alone. Today, we're breaking down what separates these two classic spirits, from how they're made to why one smells like a campfire while the other smells like dessert. So, whether you're a whiskey enthusiast, a brandy beginner, or just here for the fun facts and the puns, stick around as we pour out the truth behind these two timeless drinks. Right here on Explaining Everything. The first major difference lies in their roots, literally. Whiskey is made from grains like barley, corn, rye, or wheat. Brandy, on the other hand, is made from fruit, most often grapes, but sometimes apples, pears, or even cherries. So, whiskey basically starts life as a kind of liquid bread, while brandy begins as a very ambitious fruit juice. Whiskey is the hearty farmhand of the alcohol world, gritty, bold, and a bit smoky. Brandy, that's the elegant artist sipping under candlelight, probably listening to smooth jazz. Same goal, fermentation and distillation, but very different beginnings. Both whiskey and brandy are born through fermentation and distillation, but their journeys have different flavors, literally and figuratively. For whiskey, the grains are mashed, mixed with water, and fermented to create a beer-like liquid called wash. That wash is then distilled, heated until alcohol separates, and aged in oak barrels. This process gives whiskey its signature bite and deep amber color. Brandy takes a more romantic route. It starts as wine or fermented fruit juice. After distillation, it becomes something smoother, fruitier, and often sweeter. If whiskey says, "Let's go camping," brandy says, "Let's go ballroom dancing." And just like people, both spirits pick up their personality from where they age. Oak barrels add flavor, color, and character, like a wooden spa for alcohol. Taste-wise, the two couldn't be more different. Whiskey is known for being bold, spicy, and sometimes smoky, depending on the type. You might pick up hints of caramel, vanilla, or even campfire smoke if it's a Scotch. It's the drink that says, "I make questionable decisions, but I do it with confidence." Brandy, on the other hand, is smoother, fruitier, and often sweeter. It can taste like dried fruits, honey, or flowers. It's gentle, comforting, and classy, the kind of drink that might quote poetry and still get invited to every dinner party. Whiskey warms your chest like a friendly punch. Brandy warms your heart like a cozy hug. Their origins also shape their style. Whiskey has strongholds all around the world. Scotland, Ireland, the US, and Japan each have their own signature types. Scotch whiskey, without an E, is smoky and earthy. Irish whiskey, with an E, is smooth and light. American bourbon is sweet and full-bodied, and Japanese whiskey is elegant and precise. Brandy's story, meanwhile, begins in France. That's where you get famous names like Cognac and Armagnac. But brandy is a bit of a traveler. It's made anywhere you can ferment fruit. Spain, South Africa, even the Philippines have their own versions. So, While whiskey is the world's adventurous backpacker, Brandy is the sophisticated French vacationer who only travels first class. Now let's talk about how they're enjoyed. Whiskey usually comes in a short tumbler, neat or on the rocks. It's often shared among friends or people pretending to be philosophers after midnight. Brandy prefers the snifter, that round glass you've probably seen in movies. People swirl it to release the aroma, then hold it gently so the warmth of their hand brings out the flavor. In short, whiskey is the life of the party. Brandy is the one critiquing the playlist. Cocktail-wise, whiskey shows up in classics like the Old-Fashioned and the Manhattan. Brandy stars in the Sidecar and the Brandy Alexander. Both versatile, both delicious, but with very different personalities. Here's where time comes into play. Both whiskey and brandy age in wooden barrels, but what they take away from that time differs. Whiskey's aging process deepens its color and gives it that oaky, smoky kick. The longer it ages, the smoother it gets, but also more expensive because patience is apparently pricey. Brandy's aging often adds depth, warmth, and caramel sweetness. It goes from fresh and fruity when young to complex and mellow when aged. Think of whiskey as a bold adventurer aging into a wise storyteller, while brandy is a romantic poet who just keeps getting smoother with time. So, who takes the crown? That depends on what you're after. If you like strong, earthy, and smoky flavors, whiskey's your champion. If you prefer something smooth, fruity, and elegant, brandy's your soulmate. Either way, both have earned their spot in the glass. Just remember, whiskey starts from grain, brandy starts from fruit, and both end up starting conversations you might not remember the next day. So there you have it, the difference between whiskey and brandy, explained and slightly roasted. Whether you're Team Whiskey or Team Brandy, drink responsibly, laugh often, and maybe don't text your ex while holding either. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one's your go-to. Are you Team Whiskey or Team Brandy? And if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about here on Explaining Everything.